Good afternoon. Spain, Ireland and Norway are formally recognising a Palestinian state today in a decision slammed by Israel as a reward for Hamas more than 7 months into the devastating Gaza war. The three European countries believe that their initiative has strong symbolic impact, which is likely to encourage others to follow suit. Recognition of the state of Palestine is not only a matter of historic justice, it's also an essential requirement if we are all to achieve peace, so Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said before meeting his cabinet this morning. The move, he said, was not against anyone, least of all Israel. Sanchez also said the decision reflected Spain's outright rejection of Hamas, which is against the two-state solution and whose October 7th attacks led to the Gaza war. Today's move will mean 145 of the United Nations' 193 member states now recognise Palestinian statehood. The decision yesterday to send €1.1 billion in military aid to Ukraine has opened a deep rift in the coalition government, with far-left Sumar spokesman Ernest Urtasun criticising Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's party for making the decision in a non-transparent manner. Speaking at a press conference in Madrid, Urtasun, who is also the culture minister, called on Sanchez to put plans to send arms to Ukraine to a parliamentary vote, claiming the green light was given without even consulting his party. He also recalled that Sumar, led by Deputy Prime Minister Yolanda Díaz, had previously expressed opposition to the increase in Spain's defence spending announced by Sanchez to reach the NATO target of 2% of GDP. The announcement of the new arms shipment to Ukraine, which includes Patriot anti-missile systems, additional Leopard battle tanks and thousands of rounds of ammunition, was made by Sanchez at a joint press conference in Madrid with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday. The head of the airline TUI has announced plans to invest in residential housing on the Canary Islands rather than build new hotels, as angry locals rail against the archipelago's non-stop tourism trade. Sebastian Edel, CEO of TUI Airways, explained that the company was mindful of the strength of feeling across the Canaries. He said, "We're offering to create living spaces for employees and other residents. We are happy to tackle the issue head-on." However, he was keen to know that it was for policymakers to determine how to regulate tourism, not bosses of multinational companies. The 61-year-old German warned that besides the Canaries, Ibiza and Mallorca may also be overrun with tourists this summer. He said we might reach capacity limits in the Balearic Islands. This comes amid fierce protests on the islands about rampant over-tourism. And heavily armed police stormed a Costa del Sol beach club and ordered holidaymakers out of the pool in what they said was a 2-hour routine check following a spate of violence in the region. Revellers at the Ocean Club in Puerto Banús were urged to stay calm as police descended over the weekend, with a police helicopter circling overhead. Over loudspeakers, police assured in both English and Spanish this is just a routine check. One clubber is understood to have been arrested, although police have not yet commented officially on the reason for the detention. That's the latest from TRE. I'm Bob James.